Can you believe it's been 4.5 years since I did a build with this 2019 YZ450FX that I converted into a street legal supermoto from a brand new dirt bike? Man, time flies when you're having fun, and this has been an epic bike. But there has been some problems that I've experienced with this bike that I'm fixing to tell you in this long-term review to help you avoid them if you plan on doing a supermoto build, especially with this bike.
Let's go for a ride. Subscribe today.
Regardless of the motorcycle you ride, make sure you're wearing the gear to stay safe out there on the street. And I have links to my awesome gear, like this airbag vest to help keep you safe. I never leave home without my ultra lightweight carbon fiber helmet that comes with an automatic tint shield, my favorite helmet ever, my boots, pants, jacket. Links to all my gear is in the description and comment section of this video. You know, before I get into some problems I experienced over the years and current problem I'm having, and also to help, give you some tips to help you in your supermoto build to avoid some problems that I've experienced over the years, I want to go over everything, all the modifications I did to this bike. I did 15 modifications. I did do videos on everything. So I have a supermoto build video playlist, which I'll include a link to in the top right corner if you want to go see it. Also, I have a link to all the parts that I did on this bike in the description and comment section of this video, along with the build video playlist. But first off, the reason why you would want to get a 2019 and newer YZ450FX to convert into a supermoto, and why it's better than all the other dirt bikes out there to do a conversion, is because number one, this bike has a 5-speed wide ratio gearbox, which is awesome for the streets. This bike has a kickstand here, which is obviously great for the street. It has a low fuel light. It has the ability to connect via smartphone. There's a Wi-Fi module on this bike that connects to the ECU, and you connect via your phone. You can actually custom tune the engine characteristics of this bike. You can keep track of maintenance. It'll tell you total hours on this bike. You can do engine diagnostics all through the Yamaha app, and it connects via Wi-Fi really easy with this bike. And I think it's the only 450 you could still do that with. It's awesome. And the newer generation Yamaha dirt bikes are the only dirt bikes that have a center fuel tank, which centralizes the weight and puts the weight down low on the bike, which makes the bike feel a lot lighter weight than it is. And it's already light at 265 pounds in supermoto form. The number one reason to get this, and the reason why I went with Yamaha, is because the titanium valves on Yamaha dirt bikes are known for not moving. You will see countless YouTube videos of people checking valves on their Yamaha YZs and WRs and see that the valves just do not move on these bikes. And I put it to the test. I've owned this for 4.5 years, and I have never even checked the valves. All I've done is oil changes. I changed the air filter once on this. I cleaned and lubed the chain. That's all I've ever done on this bike at 4.5 years, guys. It has the same piston on it. I haven't done a top-end rebuild on it, and it rides better now than it did brand new. It starts up lightning quick. And by the way, in Ohio, another reason why to move to Ohio, which is awesome, is because you can plate any dirt bike here. You can even plate 2 strokes here. Okay, now as far as the build I did on this, I'm going to try to remember and go over all the 15 modifications I've done on this bike. Number one is I put on these Supermoto rims, Warp 9 Elite Supermoto rims. You can customize the colors. I got the blue rim, as you can see, and the black spokes in the blue nipples. And I did add on a 90-degree angle valve stem here to make it easier to feel the airs on this tire. Definitely do that, guys. And also, I made these tires tubeless, which I did a DIY video on how to do it. And I'll tell you, in the 4.5 years I've owned this bike, and I have not changed these tires, by the way, it holds air better than any street bike that I've ever owned. And by the way, I put on Schinkel 705 ADV dual sport wheels on these 17-inch rims. And the reason why I did that is because I want to make this a dual sport / supermoto. So this allows me to have fun on the streets. You can go super low around corners on this bike, but yet I can take it off-road, and it has a rubber carcass that resists tearing and is great for riding off-road. And I've never gotten stuck in mud in the woods. I've rode over logs. everything. It's been great. Said, look at this, guy. 4.5 years. It's still got grip. Look at that. These things have been bulletproof. I've ridden over glass, up staircases like I told you. I've ridden over all kinds of stuff. I've never gotten a puncture on this. And that's another reason why you want to make them tubeless, by the way, because if you ever get a puncture, it's an easy fix. You just get the rubber tire plug kit, less than 5 minutes. You plug it in, you're good to go. But these things are like bulletproof. Also, as far as the gearing on this bike, which is absolutely perfect, I have the 13-tooth stock counter sprocket, but I have a 44-tooth rear sprocket, which came with the wheel, the Supermoto wheel set. And I put on a black and gold Renthal chain, 112 links. And I did put on the clip style link on here, as you can see there. And I'll tell you, the gearing is absolutely, the 1344 gearing on this is awesome. It's perfect on the highway. It doesn't rev out or anything. And it's perfect on the street. It's perfect off-road for Supermoto. Absolutely highly recommend 1344 gearing if you're gonna do a Supermoto build, especially with this bike. Also, with this Supermoto kit, it does give you the bigger brake rotor, and it gives you the adapter so you can use the stock brakes on here. The only thing is you have to you got to make sure you red Loctite the adapter kit on here, because if that comes off, it could set you up for a real effed up day if you don't red Loctite that. But the stock brakes on this bike have been absolutely awesome with this adapter kit. Also, I did put on a FMF F4.1 blue titanium exhaust here, which saves a pound. Sounds amazing. Woo! Oh yeah, baby! And it has the spark arrestor, so if you're riding off-road, you're not breaking any laws or anything. It sounds awesome, saves some weight. It's been great. Also, I put on a Restart lithium battery, which has been awesome. The Restart lithium battery allows you to, so that if the battery dies, it never completely dies. So all you need to do is press the button on the top of the battery and it rejuices enough power to allow you to start the bike. And I learned the hard way with that, because the number one problem with this bike is the stator. You know, the bike that generates electricity for the bike does not support a headlight. So when you put your headlight on, it'll wear down the battery. And I learned the hard way and ran down the battery. But luckily with the Restart battery, I pressed the button and I was able to restart the bike. So that's like it's better than having a kickstart on this bike. It's been awesome. Which, by the way, I did put this Baja Design Sport LED headlight, which is really bright and awesome. It doesn't use a lot of power, but the stator does not support any headlight on this bike. The old YZ450FX is 2018 and older actually did. It would support a headlight, but for some stupid reason, Yamaha took that ability away. But the WR450F has the bigger rotor on the stator that will support a headlight, which I have the kit up here, which I've told you about for like the last couple of years here, that I have yet to put on. But now that I got my MT-07, I can have some downtime with this bike and put that bigger rotor on there, and we'll see if it supports the headlight. I'll update you in a future video on that. And some of you may ask, Cycle Cruiser, why didn't you get a WR450F instead of the YZ that's got the headlight and everything? It's because that's got emission stuff on the bike that's makes it a green sticker bike or whatnot. You have to remove a lot of stuff to get that bike to the full power that this has. And also the WR450F does not have the ability to make custom engine maps via the module on the bike. That's another reason not to get the WR450F, and some few other things that are differences or whatnot. And so in Ohio, like I said, you can make a two-stroke street legal. So it only made sense to go with the full YZ power and not have to mess with anything. Also, I put the YZ85 front fender that I had to modify, which I did a video on that to show you how to do it, which makes this bike look awesome. It makes it look stock, like stock Supermoto. Another issue that I had early on is that when I first got this bike, I had some overheating. So what I did to correct that, I put on a Tusk high pressure 1.6 radiator cap and put some engine ice in there, and it corrected the problem. I haven't had a problem since, guys. It's been perfect. I did put the fan kit on this bike, which is the stock fan kit, but with the 2019s, when it first came out, they had a recall because the fan did not work, and this fan still does not work with this bike. But luckily I didn't get that recall work done because I heard the fan actually draws down on the battery. The stator doesn't even cover the fan kit on this bike, guys. That's the biggest downfall, is the stator on this bike. I think it's got the YZ450F motocross stator on there, man. I don't know why they did that. That was stupid. And also I put on a Trailtech Speedo computer here, and I went with this one because it tells me, has a voltmeter on there, and it has low battery lights that will light up and tell me, you know, if the battery's low, which you have to, because if you use this light, it will wear down the battery right away, man. So hopefully, like I said, that stator upgrade will take care of that. But this has been great, except for it comes with a very short cord that connects to where, you know, where it'll give you the temperature of the engine. So that keeps on plugging, and right now it's not telling me the temperature of the bike, which is not a big deal because it does. This bike has a stock warning light here if it ever overheats, which it has shown me in the past, along with a low fuel light on there as well. I did have to make a custom bracket for this to make it look like this, but it's been awesome. I have on beta handguards with integrated turn signals with the smoke ones here. You can hardly see it, but when it lights up, it's bright. It's awesome. I got the handguard mirrors here. Now, the problem I'm having with these handguards, which most people have here, is this comes loose and broke off, and I'll probably get some handlebars where I can thread this in, so I won't have that problem anymore. But that's not a big deal. Also, I have the Seat Concept seat here. This has been awesome. It's mandatory you do this if you're going to do a Supermoto build, because the stock seat is like sitting on wood, and this is absolutely perfect. It's definitely worth its weight in gold to have that. Also, I have the Kriega tail pack here. This not only hides the bolt to this fender, which by the way comes with the Tusk dual sport lighting kit, which makes this bike street legal, which gives you the control switch here for the headlight, the horn, and it comes with this LED tail light, and it has a license plate light under the tail light, and these really slick turn signals here. And like I said, it comes with the fender, but it leaves these ugly bolts up top, so that's why I put the Kriega tail pack over top, and it gives me some storage too, where I can carry emergency items, which is really nice. This dual sport lighting kit, I've had a problem with the horn. The horn does not work. As you can see, I put the horn there. The horn works fine. I tested it, but I think it's something wrong with the switch. I think I'm gonna have to end up putting a new switch on here. I checked the fuse. It's not the fuse, so I don't know. It's either a bad line or it's the switch or something. I'll figure it out. Also, I customized the bar pad so it fits the the Trailtech computer here, but also I glued on a smartphone case on there so I can pop my phone out on and off the bike, and this is really awesome. So that way I can have my GPS and everything, and also connect to the bike's Wi-Fi on there with the app, do custom tunes. This bike does come, like I said, it comes with a 2-map switch. I never did a custom map on this bike because the 2-map switch has 2 awesome maps on there. One full balls to the wall power, and the second map subdues the power almost down to like a 250. So when you go off road, you click that button. It's really awesome. It lowers the power on the bike. And I will tell you this, guys, this 450 absolutely rips. I did not realize a 450 was that powerful until I got a 450. And this is what reason why you want to do a Supermoto build, is because the 450s dirt bikes just hit different than street bikes. It just has a raw, powerful, visceral feel that you get, and the torque is just a torque machine, man. You know, dirt bikes have tons of torque, and even with the 44 sprocket, guys, all I got to do is just rip the throttle here. I don't even have to do a clutch up, and it will do a wheelie, man. It's the easiest wheeling bike ever. Also, I put on the blue plastics. It came with white plastics for the side plates, for the number plates, which I think the new ones now have blue plastics. Maybe they saw my videos and they're like, hey man, the blue plastics look much better than the white plastic. And that's pretty much it with the bike. I don't plan on doing anything else to the bike besides, like I said, fixing a few of the issues there that I have with the bike. But overall, I have to say, guys, this has been the most epic experience with this Supermoto that I've ever had. I tell you, I used to talk smack about Supermotos back in the day before I rode them, and Supermoto life is the best. It's the most fun ever that you'll have on a motor, especially when you've got to do a 450 Supermoto build. Some of you guys are like Cycle Cruiser, get a 690 SMCR KTM Supermoto, or get a Husky 701 Supermoto. No, guys, those bikes are like 80 pounds heavier than this bike. I mean, those bikes have like street bike engines in them that make them a lot more heavier. Yes, they're low maintenance and everything, but you're not going to get the same raw. Like I said, dirt bikes just hit different than street bikes. It's just a raw, visceral, wild feeling. Woo! Oh yeah, baby! That you will not get on that 690 SMCR or the Husky 701, which are faster because they have the street bike. I mean, they do like 120. I think this does like 105 top speed that I got it to. But this just hits hard. It just hits different and wild. I can't explain it. You've got to try one for yourself, man. If you have any questions that you want to ask me, leave a comment below. Whenever I release a video, I always answer questions for the first 2 to 3 hours when I release a video. Hit thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell symbol so you get notified when my videos come out. But I release videos religiously every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Check out my playlist for new riders and popular videos. Don't forget to comment and subscribe, and check out my other channel, Bug Out Moto, where I customize a van for my motorcycle so I can live in my van with my motorcycle and travel across the country anywhere. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Bug Out Moto.